When Austro-Hungarian forces withdrew from Albania in October 1918, they left behind no stable successor authority. Italian troops advanced rapidly from their coastal positions. Within weeks, they occupied Vlora, Durrës, Shkodër, and key inland routes linking the Adriatic to central Albania. Their presence stretched across most of the country. In the southeast, French forces continued administering Korsha under their wartime structure. By November 1918, Albania was no longer a battlefield of world war, but it was not sovereign either. It was divided into occupation zones. The Albanian state existed in principle, yet real authority lay with foreign garrisons. On 25 December 1918, a provisional Albanian government formed in Durrës, hoping to secure recognition at the Paris Peace Conference. But recognition did not remove soldiers. Throughout 1919, Italy maintained garrisons across central and southern Albania. Gradually, however, its deployment narrowed. Units withdrew from several northern and inland districts, concentrating instead around strategic ports and especially the Vlora region. By late 1919, Vlora had become the core of Italian mainland control, fortified, reinforced, and politically significant. To the north, the newly formed kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes consolidated its frontier positions opposite Shkodër and the northern highlands. The border remained undefined and tense, though no full offensive was launched. French administration in Korsha continued. Albania remained territorially fragile, pressured from coast, north, and south. In January 1920, Albanian delegates met in Lushnja and decisively rejected the Durrës government. They declared a new national authority determined to restore sovereignty. In February, the capital moved to Tirana, a deliberate shift inland, away from the immediate shadow of foreign occupation. Yet even after this political consolidation, foreign forces remained entrenched. Italian troops still held Vlora and its defensive perimeter. In early June 1920, fighting erupted around Vlora. Italy had tens of thousands of troops in the wider region, supported by artillery and naval forces offshore. But not all were actively engaged in combat. Opposing them were several thousand Albanian fighters, lightly armed, mobile, and familiar with the terrain. The first clashes unfolded in the hills near Kanina. Control of these heights allowed Albanian forces to pressure outer defenses and threaten land approaches into the city. Fighting spread along the Vjosa River Valley and toward the Dukat area south of Vlora. Rather than attempting a direct assault on the fortified port, Albanian units targeted isolated outposts and gradually forced Italian troops to pull back toward the city perimeter. Conditions worsened for the defenders. The summer heat and malaria weakened troops stationed in the lowlands around Vlora. Morale declined, and political opposition to the campaign was rising inside Italy. While this fighting continued, another occupation ended. In mid-June 1920, French forces withdrew from Korsha. Authority in the southeast passed to Tirana, even as battles continued in the southwest. Through June and July, Italian defensive lines around Vlora steadily contracted. In July 1920, while the struggle around Vlora was still ongoing, clashes erupted near Koplik, north of Shkodër. Engagements took place along mountain routes linking Shkodër to Podgorica, and in villages controlling key passes. After several engagements, Albanian units maintained control of the area, and opposing forces withdrew back across the frontier. The clashes soon subsided, but tensions along the northern border remained unresolved. By late July, Italian positions outside Vlora had become increasingly difficult to hold. On August 2, 1920, the Protocol of Tirana was signed. Italy agreed to evacuate mainland Albania. By September, the withdrawal was complete. Only Sazan Island at the entrance of Vlora Bay remained under Italian control. For the first time since 1918, Albania's mainland was free of foreign occupation, but its borders were still unsettled. By early 1921, Albania again faced instability along several of its borders. Along the northern and northeastern frontier, South Slav forces crossed into Albanian territory at multiple points. Clashes occurred across the mountain districts of Kelmend, Hoti, and north of Shkodër, as well as further east along the Dibra frontier. Fighting usually took place around border villages, mountain passes, and the roads linking these areas with Montenegro and Kosovo. In July 1921, the situation escalated when leaders in the Mirdita region proclaimed the Republic of Mirdita, centered around Orosh. The movement received political and logistical support from across the northern border in the kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes. The Mirdita movement was led primarily by local tribal leaders from the predominantly Catholic Albanian population of the Mirdita highlands. The movement sought greater autonomy from the government in Tirana and attempted to establish control over the surrounding mountain districts. At the same time, tensions also appeared along Albania's southern frontier. Greek forces conducted limited incursions near Gjirokastër, reflecting the continuing dispute connected to the northern Epirus question. By the autumn of 1921, the continued fighting along Albania's borders and the Mirdita uprising drew increasing concern from the major European powers. The issue was brought before the League of Nations, which began examining the situation along Albania's frontiers. At the same time, the leading Allied powers moved to prevent further escalation between Albania and its neighbors. On November 9, 1921, the Conference of Ambassadors reaffirmed Albania's internationally recognized borders, largely confirming the frontiers originally defined in 1913. Following this decision, international pressure was placed on the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes to withdraw support from the Mirdita movement and end cross-border involvement in northern Albania. Without external backing, the Republic of Mirdita quickly collapsed. Albanian government forces moved into the region and re-established control over the Mirdita highlands. The fighting gradually subsided, and the immediate border crisis came to an end. Between 1922 and 1924, boundary commissions surveyed and demarcated Albania's frontiers in detail. In January 1925, Albania was proclaimed a republic. That same year, southern sectors near Gjirokastër were formally demarcated with Greece, and northeastern sectors near Shkodër and Mirdita were clarified with the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes. By 1926, Albania had moved from occupation to confrontation, and from confrontation to recognized and consolidated borders.